Peace and blessings, everyone. This is Sister April Muhammad, the Chocolate Chef. We're coming to you with another live show of Chopping It Up in the Lab. And this week, this is our third show, y'all. Yay! I'm so excited. We have had two phenomenal shows, and today is going to be another phenomenal show, as usual. This week, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get started with it for those of you all who are new to the show. I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I am April Muhammad, the Chocolate Chef. I am an educator, a life skills coach, and a food sports competitor who's been in the industry for nearly over 20 years. This show is an inspiration that I've had for many years, actually, and it is a show where we want to feature passionate chefs, restaurant owners, passionate foodies, and growers. We want to feature growers as well. Today, a little bit about the flow of the show. Now, first and foremost, we never worry about how many viewers we have. And I think I see, because we are live streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Yes, we're still working on Instagram. We are. Y'all got to work with it. Just be patient with your sister here. So we have, this show airs every Sunday at 7. And what we want to do is just bring a conversation to the public about the industry and present to you all some of the talented people that you guys have. I mean, that's all over the country. So today we have we're going to feature a vegan chef. And one of my goals with the show is to feature vegan chefs, bakers, growers, and people who are just cooking in the kitchen that can really throw down. So last week, we had a fun food fact. We always have our fun food fact. Last week's fun food fact was about pineapples. Yes, I don't know if anybody went out and bought some pineapples or began to see pineapples in a different light after the show. But I found this cute little golden pineapple right here, and I found it at Hobby Lobby. It is a candle. It's a golden candle. And it smells so good. I think I'm obsessed with pineapples, you guys. I'm scared. I'm so scared. Okay, so that was our fun food fact for last week. And I think my guest, she's having a little technical difficulties. So y'all have to bear with us today. She's trying to get on. Let's see here. But let's go with our fun food fact of the day. We have, and if you want to leave a comment at any time, please make sure you feel free to leave a comment. And as we go throughout the show, we will post your comments to our guests. And we're still waiting on our guests to come through. But let's go on with this fun food fact. Oh my goodness. This week's fun food fact is about squash. It is fall, y'all. So and that's one of the vegetables that everybody loves to eat in the fall. You have butternut squash soup. You have so many things you can do with squash really all year round. So today's fun food fact is about squash. So squash, there are two types of squash. We all know about the summer squash. And, I don't hear many people talking about the winter squash. But we have summer squash and winter squash. Now, the winter squash is actually grown in the fall. It's not grown in the winter, but it's stored in the winter. Squash have many culinary uses. And that's including pumpkin pies. Yep, I said pumpkin pie. I'm going to talk about that. Biscuits, breads. Everybody loves zucchini bread. Desserts, puddings, beverages, soups, and salads. And did you know that the U.S. imports more squash than any other country in the world? Did not know that. But guess where they come from? Over 90% of this vegetable is imported into the U.S. from Mexico. Did you know that? Well, it is. Eating butternut squash can improve lung health, and studies have shown decreased incidence of lung cancer. So I think we all need some squash in our diet this fall and this winter. All pumpkins are squash, but not all squash are pumpkins. And that's have something to do with the FDA. We can go into another show about that. Canned, and I learned this one a couple of years ago. Canned pumpkin is actually squash. So when people talking about making pumpkin pies, they're actually talking about making a squash pie. So that's you're really not making pumpkin pie. Those big pumpkins that you see during the fall, don't use those for pie because they're too bitter. Oh, we're getting off the subject of the show here. So the word squash came from a Native American word meaning eaten raw or uncooked. Wow. I don't know if I didn't know that. I didn't know any of that. So as we are still waiting for our guests to come through, I'm going to go ahead and read a bio, read her bio, because even though she may be having a little bit of technical difficulties, we're going to move the show right on. And I'm going to, even if she's not able to get on, we'll still go ahead and just talk a little bit about her business and open up a dialogue for you all. Because, see, that's one thing about when you're live, things happen. But a good host, like the chocolate chef, knows how to keep it moving, okay? So if y'all can hear me, because my mic check, I don't know. Can y'all hear me? If you hear me, hit me with some thumbs up. That'll be cool. So a little bit about my guest today. She is a Birmingham native. Her name is Kalila Soul. She is a vegan chef who has over 18 years of experience cooking vegan cuisines. In 2019, Chef Kalila started Underground Vegan. That name was so hot to me. I promise y'all, when I heard her say it, I was like, wow. She's been committed to her vision of creating a roadmap for operating a vegan street food business in the heart of Alabama, which is Birmingham. Chef Kalila's ultimate goal is to show others that anyone can eat and love vegan. Now, I hope that my son would one day enjoy vegan food as much as I do. Now, I had Chef Kalila's food, and I will say she's probably right now, as it stands right now, her food is the top vegan food that I have ever taste, period, hands down. Now she likes to say that she cooks vegan junk food. So I don't know if you all ever heard about the Underground Vegan, but I think they have a food truck now, and I can't wait till she could come in. Make sure I'm gonna double check and make sure, see if she's leaving me any type of messages or anything. But she has a vegan food truck, and I think they do a market every week. And she has these po' boys, I think it's like a vegan shrimp po' boy. Come on now. And then she has this dirty chicken or something like that. Oh my God, it looks so good. But I had this Asian dish that she did, and I promise you, you would not have known that it was not vegan. So she is an amazing chef, and her name is Kalila Soul, and we're still waiting on her. But I want to talk to you all a little bit. This is the fall season. And I want to talk, while she's coming in, I want to talk about eating according to the seasons. Now we have, I love the way that the universe is set up. It's set up for our health and success. So everything that is grown during a period of time is for us and our benefit and our health. So when we have, summer, you notice the beautiful, colorful foods that's grown in the summer. It's just fuel for our body. So right now, some of the foods that are grown right now, which will make great soups, and you can make wonderful salads. But this is like soup season, if you ask me. What is good right now, we talked about squash. So butternut squash soup. Oh my God, y'all. Butternut squash soup is amazing. You could do a wonderful gumbo. You can do a wonderful gumbo because you got that okra left over. Okra season just kind of wrapped up. You can put that gumbo together. You have, I gotta introduce y'all to a navy bean soup. Those of you all who are watching, the navy bean soup is probably the most superior soup there is to make. Yes, I'm saying that because I am a navy bean junkie right now. I'm serious. Navy bean is a superfood, so check out the navy bean. So navy bean soup has all of the seasonings, the recipe. We may do like a little show on, and don't forget to check us out at Magic City Flavors Cooking Lab.com. .com, and go to our Facebook page and on YouTube, and you can see a lot food demos. You can see we give our goal is to give you all food knowledge, the proper food knowledge. And I am a food science person, so you're always going to have some information coming about the science of food and the benefits of food. So we got our soups during the fall. That is wonderful. So you got your chowders, you got your tomato basil. Look, are y'all getting hungry? I'm a little hungry right now. I just ate though. Matter of fact, I just prepared a fall dish, which was cabbage, and it was cabbage and carrots. These are root vegetables, and I served it. I served some salmon on top with some Dijon mustard and all that good stuff. But salmon is a wonderful fish for the fall because the salmon season is from September through November. So you should see lower prices. You should, and you will get a better quality fish during those months. So just check it out. If you don't believe me, watch the salmon prices and see. And usually food that's in season, they are cheaper. They're always going to be on quote unquote sale. So always keep that in mind. So let's see. Do we have any comments in the box? Doing that? Yes. Somebody's L. Jordan said navy bean soup saved his life. Mine too. It is great for when you have colds. My children, it was all when we were vegetarian. That was all they ever they ate, and they got tired of it for a while. And what they did was when I stopped cooking it for a minute, and I think somebody got sick, and then the first thing they said was, "Mom, when are you cooking bean soup?" So that's our thing. But try out navy bean soup. We'll do a little demo. And you can check it out on our page, Magic City Flavors Cooking Lab, and on Facebook. And we want you to go to our YouTube page. Now, our guest still have not arrived. And if she hasn't arrived, because this is a 30-minute show, and we don't like to waste time. We don't want to waste anybody's time, but it's okay though. Some of the things I want to do a little game with you all while she is still, everybody have technical difficulties. Things happen. That's just what happens. It's called life. So I want to play a little game with the audience, if that's okay. On this show, we talk about food pairing. So what food pairing is two food items that you wouldn't typically, that's paired together, but you typically wouldn't put together. So I give an example like pears and cheese. I always use that as an example, pears and soft cheese. So I would like to know from you guys. We're going to play the chocolate game. How about that? Y'all cool with that? I think we got 1 or 2 viewers. So the chocolate game. I'll do it if we don't have any interaction. So chocolate and bacon or chocolate and potato chips. I think I would have to go chocolate and potato chips. I would have to do that. For the salty. Oh, I know. Brother Jordan said that I can't with the squash biscuit. Yeah. The biscuit is something else. we might have to try some biscuits. How about, okay, so we got chocolate and mangoes because Chef Rinsky talked about mangoes. She gave us some really good ideas last week on doing a chocolate and mango pairing. And I've been thinking about that all week because chocolate and mangoes are both my favorite. Yes. We got our guest that came in. Hold on, you guys. I think she's coming up. While she's still getting, let's see here. Let's see. I think she's coming in. I'll put her back in the green room while we get her coming in. All right, so we got chocolate and mango. Oh, there she is. Hold on. Chef Kalila, can you hear me? Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you. I'm sorry. Hey, peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings. How are you? I was like, look, this technology is not working tonight at all. At all.
I know it's okay. Hey. You know what we said? Let's sip. That.
Look,
Thank
okay,
you.
so I have
Let's take a sip.
I realized when I
I
said
did this for
wine
you because
glasses,
of
I
the
was like,
diva.
look, I
She.
I realized when you said wine glasses, I was like, oh, my kids broke them, so all I have is
Oh
mugs. So
wow.
that's what I'm gonna do.
I know. Look, I always have my coffee mug, but I
And I was like, they broke the wine glasses. Just
pulled
goes
this
to
out from the
show.
garage. Look,
Look.
I
I
know,
got the
right? But I pulled this out.
got the
Somebody had
underground
given me
vegan
this.
coffee mug.
I know. Look, that's what you do. So let's do this. Let's put your logo up because we can't represent without the logo. Underground vegan. Let's see. Can you see it? It's not up. It's because it's black. It's not showing. Let's do this. Oh, give me 1 second because I
All right,
want
all
to
right.
see your logo. I want to see that
It's
logo
all
up
good. It's technology. Like,
there. I think it's because we have a black background. I know what happened today. It's all good. So today we want to talk about. I'm just happy you was able to come on. I'm
I'm
just so happy because I
happy.
know how it is.
I'm happy. I'm happy because
Yeah,
I hate being late. So I'm like, oh, are you serious?
it's all good. It's all good. You look, you're a working woman, and you got things, sister. You have things going on. But
Can you
let's
hear me?
breathe and yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I can hear you. Can you
So,
hear me? Are we good? Freezing up a little bit, but
can you hear me?
so tell us a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can
Can
hear
you?
you.
Am I clear? Okay, good. So we read a little
I
bit
can hear
about your
you.
bios.
Yeah,
Okay,
you
we
good.
read your bio. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Well, my name is Kalila Soul. My business is Underground Vegan. It's a vegan food truck. We sell chicken sandwiches, but not real chicken, of course. Fake chicken sandwiches. I have to say fake chicken because people are
Right.
always saying, "Oh, so it's fake chicken." I'm like, okay, it's plants, but if I say what it's made out of, then there's gonna be like another 50 questions. So we just gonna go with fake chicken.
Okay, but there's no soy in it though, right? That's what I love about your food. There's no soy in that, right?
See, that's the thing. No, in this chicken sandwich, it is soy in it. It is
Ah,
soy.
in that one. Okay,
In the
okay,
chicken
okay,
sandwiches, there is soy. It's organic soy.
okay.
But it's organic, non-GMO soy. But the chicken sandwich actually does have soy in it. The vegan shrimp actually
Got you.
doesn't. So we offer soy and non-soy
Ah,
options. Mm-hmm.
got you. Now I
Yep.
haven't tasted the chicken sandwich, and I haven't tasted either one of those. But I had your mac and cheese, and I think it was an Asian dish that you did that was so
Uh huh.
delicious.
Uh
Oh
huh.
my goodness! I think I made a video about it. It was so good. So look, so
I
look,
didn't see
tell
the
us.
video. No, I'm just kidding.
I know. So tell us about you started in 2000. Now that was like COVID, right? That's around the time of COVID. So how did that work out for you? Starting a business during
Okay.
the COVID.
So that's pretty interesting. So technically, I mean, Underground Vegan started. It'll be a year this month. I know
Oh
it's
wow,
crazy. So I
wow.
started out doing pop ups. I know, like everybody thinks, like I just decided one day that I'm just gonna serve, like start cooking some vegan food. Like it didn't happen that way.
Mm-mm.
So we've been on the ground for a minute. But the crazy thing was when we started out doing West Homewood Market. So unfortunately, when we started at the end of the year, there was only like one or two markets at the end
Right.
of last year. So then that was kind of tricky. Then we were doing meal prep for people. So we were doing meal prep when we originally started. We said, okay, we're gonna do a market, so people can actually eat the food hot. So that's how we
Mm-hmm.
started at the West Homewood Farmers Market. Then we were getting
I
gearing up
remember.
for February, March, COVID. What? So yeah. so,
I,
so then we were sitting for a minute. It was like, oh, okay, maybe it's,
Right.
I mean, it's like maybe we should go ahead and get that food truck because actually we
Right.
had one, and that's the whole thing too. When we initially started, we had one.
Mm.
But then and that's the thing, we had a food truck a year ago. I said, wow, it's just wild, because that's what we were initially going to
Mm.
do. We were going to start out with a food truck. But see, what had happened was when you get
I
food
know,
trucks that are
right?
older, there's
Right.
more
Look,
money
I've
that you
had
have
a
to
food
put
truck
into
before.
it.
I had a food truck before, and that's a horror story. I can tell you a horror story about it. We ran out of gas in the middle of the freeway, malfunction junction, and that was the first time I felt close to death. Because the cars were
Wow,
coming.
wow.
That's the whole story. It's the whole story. But I've had a
That's
food truck before. Well, we've had a food truck before. I listen, and it was older. Oh boy, let's just say that. But you guys have a food truck now, right?
we have a food truck now, and that's what I'm saying. When we originally started, our goal wasn't to do tents or whatever and go into the
Right.
markets. It was, hey, we're going to get a food truck, we're going to get on the streets. But that money on that food truck, I mean, the
Yeah.
cost was just like escalating. We're just like, you know
Mm.
what, let's see how people like the food, and then we'll kind of go from there. So yeah, that's fast forward
Yeah,
to
wow. So that's a good point that you brought
over
up.
20.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
yeah, and I mean you all are popping. Y'all are popping. And that's a great point that you brought up because a lot of people get excited in this industry and it's like I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna build this wonderful thing. And then when putting it in together, because I always tell the story about wanting to be a baker until I went to work in worked in a bakery. I always wanted
Mhm.
in a bakery, right? Then I went and worked in
Mhm.
one. Always go and work in that establishment. I always tell the children that
Mhm.
working in that field first to make sure that's what you want to do. Now I met you in
Absolutely.
our homeschool collective, and
Mhm.
I heard you talking about cooking, and I hear a lot of people talking all the time. But boy, when you listen, yeah, that's why I love the name Underground because I know this wasn't something that just popped up. You guys were doing this for a while, so I agree with that. What some of the challenges that you said was you talked about the food truck challenge. The other
Mhm.
challenge that you are there any other challenges in your business that you see being a newer business? Do you have any other challenges?
Absolutely. There are always going to be challenges, with any new business. I think the biggest thing is my background is marketing. So before I went home, with the kids, I was still doing, kind of consulting work for businesses. So my thing and my biggest goal was to find out, hey, are people really going to eat it? Like I know what I like to eat. I know what other people, like I
Mm.
know what, my friends and family like to eat, but the people that are actually going to pay me, are they going to want to eat this food? So, and I think that's the biggest thing that businesses actually lack is like the knowledge and
Mm.
research. Like you have to do your research. You can't just
Mm.
say, okay, I cook vegan food, everybody's gonna eat it. Because the truth be told, like when I was doing the catering and then I was doing the meal prep, like yeah, I got a little business, but nobody really wanted that. Everybody was just like,
Mm.
can I pick it up right now and eat it right now when it's hot? Like, okay, so I gotta reheat it in the microwave? No, I'm
Yeah, I
good.
remember.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, wow. So
yeah.
vegan, the veganism and vegan establishments are kind of trending right now. So how do you feel
Mhm.
about? I don't want to say competition because I don't believe in competition like that. I don't view it as competition. I believe everybody's doing their thing, but with the market becoming a little competitive, what's your view on that?
I think it's only competitive if you don't know what you're doing and you don't know what you offer.
Wow, look at that.
Because what a lot of people do is they'll go and try to copy somebody, and it never works.
Mm,
It never works. You
right.
can't go in the industry and try to copy what somebody else is doing. You have to build your own brand. You have to establish yourself.
Wow. Wow, that's a great point. Wow. And this is great information for because you're coming from the marketing side of things. So I think everybody can learn from this. That's a wonderful point. So you said you did some catering. I don't know. Did I lose you? Uh-oh. I think she's buffering, you guys. But y'all see, sister. Okay. All right. I think we got you back. Can you hear me?
Okay, we back?
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. Yes, ma'am. I was talking about you bring a lot of knowledge from the marketing side of things. So this is really good information for anyone in business, period. That's a great outlook. So with the I know a lot of people ask for recipes. Have you ever thought about doing a cookbook?
I have, and I am gonna do one. It's just, with these kids and this family and just this business, you gotta. And I'm working a lot of things too, behind the scenes. So I'm pretty excited about that. Outside of the food trucks, so everything is a process. You can't spread yourself too thin. You have to master. I'm not mastering it, but you have to work on a path of mastering one thing before you just kind of like jump into the next thing. Because if I'm being honest, once one thing catches on and you build a brand, you can pretty much sell anything. So that's what I'm focusing more on, is building my brand, making sure that I, like get my everything down to a T and a science, before I start moving on to something else. Because, the jack of all trades, master of none quote is just that is real. That's real business. Because I'm multi-passionate. So I can do like 50, 11 things at once. And nothing
is that the word? Like multi-passionate? That's the new. I'm gonna use that word, multi-passionate, because I call myself a balancing passionate person. But I like that multi-passionate because when we met, we all so much. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. It's crazy.
And just because you can do it and you're good at it doesn't mean you should be doing it right now. And that's what I get a lot. Like, I get a lot of people who ask me, like, how do you start the vegan business? And, I'm looking to do this in the vegan industry now. Like, I get so many DMs of people asking me, like, how to get started. It's crazy. And so, and my people, they laugh. They're like, are you going to tell them? I'm like, look, I'm new myself. So only thing I can tell you is find your thing and kill it. Like, but it has to be your thing. Like, I'm not going to be a slutty vegan. That's not even what I'm aspiring to. I think she's great at business. She's great at marketing, but I'm not trying to be her. Like, and I think, and that's okay to say. And I'm comfortable with saying that, to anybody. And I think that's why other businesses aren't going to be successful, is because they're not okay with the lane that they're in. Everybody trying to jump in everybody else's lane. Like, you gotta stay in your lane. You gotta ride your lane out to wherever it leads. You can't be jumping in other people's lane and get cagged. So you like you looking down on the street.
True. You're so true.
Yeah.
That's so true. So I'm very happy about the I hear you. I think we just have a little bit of a delay, just a tad bit of a delay.
Okay.
It seems like a 2 or 3 second delay. We your vision for your business, being that you are new. What is your vision moving forward?
My vision for my business is to take the road wherever it leads. Because I have to also be honest with myself, and I don't know where it's gonna lead. I can just work it to the end. And not to say that it's going to have an ending, but I also know that once you're working, when you're multi-passionate about something, this is not going to be your last idea. So you're constantly working on other things. So for all the path may venture off, and do a detour, somewhere else, somewhere greater, you just never know. But one thing that I do know is I give everything like 200%. Like, if I'm on that food truck, if I'm doing this food truck, I'm going to give it 200% regardless. I'm going to do that for everything. And that's the only thing that I could hope for myself, is that whatever I'm working on, like, I'm going to kill it no matter what. Like, it's sleepless nights. Everybody say they want to do it, but it is hard work. It is hard work. Do you know how hot it is on that train? It's hot.
I know. Sis, I know.
You gotta stay up late in the kitchen prepping.
I gotta sip some on that. Let me sip. I I had to take a
People
sip
say
on that one.
look, people say they want it, but they don't want this life. They see, oh, you're making money. Oh, you know,
No.
you're getting a little notoriety. It is hard work. And I tell everybody, like, if
Yeah.
you're not willing to put in the work, then you might as well just save it and like not do it,
Right.
because if you're gonna half do it, then you might as well not do it at all, because half doing
Might
something
know.
looks nowhere. You know?
But you are so passionate about it, and it comes out. Your professionalism, your passion, it all comes out in your work and everything that you do. Even when you were with us with the homeschooling, even with the children, it was so funny because we had to try to stop you from bringing in food for the children who didn't have food. You bring in whole lunches for everybody. It was
I
like,
don't
no, you
care.
can't keep feeding everybody. But you're
Yes,
just,
man.
yeah, I know, right? You were just so passionate about just everything. And I love that about you. Oh my goodness, I love that
And
about
now
you.
I got this food
Oh.
truck, so I can actually pull up on people and give them food for free.
Yeah, but you're making money now. You gotta keep in mind we're in business now. We are in business.
But
Let's
still,
go.
that's the whole thing. So you put stuff in place to where you still can operate your business, but you can still give. You know, like I'm never gonna stop giving. Like
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm just never gonna stop, and that's one of the things I'm working on too. Like I'm never ever gonna stop giving, because if things are being given to you, like if you have your hands closed, like you can't receive. So
That's when you're gonna always
have
receive.
my
You're
hands
gonna
open.
always
Exactly.
receive.
So
Yeah.
I always have it's set, whether I got the money or not. Like I'm gonna give it, because that's just how I was raised. Like when I tell you, when I was growing up, like my mom would drive downtown under the bridge. I remember we would go get food, and I'm like, why are we getting all this food? We would literally drop food off to people under the bridges. Like as a little girl, growing up here in Birmingham, drop people, and I was like, dang, that's what I want to do. And I feel like if you always have that kind of heart and you always have that kind of passion for people, and that's why I wrote on my truck, like I'm powered by my customers. Because if my customers don't want my food, I'm not in business. So of course I'm going to treat my customers with respect. I'm going to treat them how I want to be treated. And that's what people don't really realize. Like when they say the customer is always right, I'm not saying they're always right, but there is a way you have to treat people how you want to be treated, period. If the food don't come out right, if it's too long, even for me, if I don't play that. I don't play that at all. If the customer's not taken care of, then
That's true. That's true. So we got a couple of well, Sister Una, she says she love it. I'm multi-passionate too. Yeah, she is multi-passionate. So look, you guys, if y'all have any questions or comments, please let us know. But I do have another question for you.
Dig it.
How did you get into the vegan side of things? Like what made you get into the vegan? Who or what inspired you to start a vegan business?
Funny that you should say that. My roommate, her name is Essence Cherry. Okay, her name was Essence Cherry because she got married. She's an attorney now. She's doing big, but she was from Chicago. So I moved from Alabama to DC to go to school. And my roommate was from Chicago. She was a vegetarian. She had been a vegetarian, and she was a Muslim sister too. And she had been a vegetarian her whole entire life. Whole life. I'm from Alabama. I had never seen those unicorns. Like,
I know. So I was treated like a unicorn back then too. In the 90s, being a vegetarian in the 90s, it was just like being a vegan. It was just like being a vegan. It was like, no, yeah, I know.
Exactly. It was.
I know.
It was. So I'm like, you telling me you don't eat meat like ever, and you've never eaten meat ever in life, and nobody in your family eats meat ever in life. What kind of cult are y'all a part of? Because I've never heard that in my life. And then I'm calling home. Like, yeah, my roommate, she doesn't eat meat, most beautiful chocolate skin. Her skin is darker than mine. I mean, gorgeous girl. I'm like, you don't eat meat?
Right.
At all. So I call myself, I'm trying to find myself,
Everybody do
at this time I'm trying to find myself, open myself up.
Everybody's trying to find us. Yeah.
I'm in DC. I'm from the South. They call me, she used to call me Kalula Brown. Like, what kind of country name? Okay, that's another thing. But yeah, so, but there is a vegan restaurant called Soul Vegetarian. Vegan restaurant right across the street from campus. So, you know, campers don't have good food. So she put me on. She was like, yeah, you got to try this food. When I tell you the first day that I went in there and I tried these things called barbecue twists, and now looking back, they were made of wheat gluten. So it was some bread barbecue twists made of wheat gluten. Shout out to Full
Ah,
Vegetarian that was in DC. I know they have one
wow.
in Atlanta too. But yeah, so
Okay, yeah,
she
that's
put
what I
me on to
thought.
that. I just fell in love with the food. And me being me, I would go back to the dorm or go back, you know, when I would come home and I would try to make these recipes because I was always even growing up, like going to a restaurant, like fancy restaurants or restaurants, whatever. If I found something, if I found something that I could eat, I enjoyed it. Like I would go home and try to remake it. Now I should have known then
Exactly.
I wanted to do it, but you know, you don't know. You just living life
Yeah,
then, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah,
I
so
know, right?
that was it. And that was
So
what,
that's
18 years
incredible.
ago? Yeah.
That's amazing. So you've been on this journey for a
Yeah.
while. So this is not new, y'all. This is not new for Sister Kalila. So we have a portion of the show. We try to keep this show at 30, 40 minutes. And if you guys have
Got it.
any questions or comments, please let us know. We will definitely post them for our chef. We have a portion of the show called Kitchen Conundrum. So it's just a bunch of questions to kind of make you think. But you are a thinker anyway, so I know you got this. You got this. So, what do you think is the most overrated ingredient in the kitchen, used in the kitchen today?
Wait.
So
Okay,
I
so
told you it's a
pre-made
couple.
ingredient. So
Well,
pre-made ingredient.
any ingredient, the most overused ingredients that everybody
Oh, seasoned salt. Like
they
everybody
kind of,
puts seasoned salt.
especially in the South.
Everybody puts
Mm,
seasoned salt.
mm.
Like there are other seasonings that you can like add to your food besides seasoned salt. I promise. I promise.
I know,
Just put a little
I
seasoned
know,
salt on it. Everybody be like, oh, just add slap your mama.
I know,
Everybody
right?
just it don't go on everything. Sorry, it just don't.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. So okay, here's
Mhm.
another one. What is your favorite food pairing? So the chef last week, we had Chef Rinsky on last week. She was a culinary educator, and she said chocolate and mangoes. She said chocolate and mangoes. What's your favorite food pairing
Haha.
that most people wouldn't think about?
Um, Let me try to see. This is hard because I grew up on Chopped because every day I would come home. I would come home and my mom wasn't a cook, and so we had random ingredients. So I would literally get on the phone and would be like, "Grandma, okay, so this is what I have. I have apples. I have peanut butter. Like
Oh,
I
that's a
have
good. Oh
flour.
yeah.
I have
Mm.
yeah. So let's see. What do we do a lot here? See, we don't do a lot of the same things. We mix them up. So if I had to choose
That
something,
most people don't really think about.
I eat a lot. I eat a lot of broccoli and hummus. I mean, like
Oh,
raw broccoli. So I would take raw broccoli, dip it in that hummus, and
right.
eat it. So I don't know.
Oh,
It's
hey,
weird.
look, I like that.
It's
I
weird.
can feel that. I can feel that. I can feel it. I think we got a question. We got a quick question right here. Brother L. Jordan says, what advice would you give to your younger self as it pertains to business?"
As it pertains to business, um, to my younger self, I would probably say to figure out what you want to do with your life before you waste time doing what other people want to do with your life. Then the reason why I say that is
Mm,
because, like, I think if I would have, like, what I,
I'm
that's
gonna
why
skip
I
on that
homeschool.
one.
Yeah, that's why I
Mhm.
homeschool now is because growing up, it was like, oh, okay, you know, you go to Howard, blah, 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 you know, prestigious university and all that kind of stuff. When I was the one growing up at a young age in the kitchen, sitting on the deep freezer, watching my grandma cook, I should have known then. Somebody should have said, hey, maybe she want to cook. You know, like,
I know, right?
I was that kid not trying to go out the store when grandma was in the kitchen. It wasn't that I wanted to eat. I wanted to see what she was doing. So I think as far as like in business, like know
Right.
what you want to do. Like know exactly what you want to do and be authentic. Like you have to be your authentic self. It's
Mm.
good to look at people and say, hey, that's a goal because she did it from XYZ area, or it's good to look at people for motivation, but the biggest motivation is yourself. And
Mm.
don't let anybody actually deter you from what you want to do. Just keep going for it, because if you work at something long enough, it's gonna hit. Like it's just the universe is
Oh
just, I
yeah,
mean, it's
yeah,
law.
I
It's
agree.
gonna hit if you work at it long enough.
I agree.
So yeah, so that's what I would say. That's what I would tell
I
my
agree.
younger self
Well,
is
with
keep at it and know what you want to do a little bit early in life.
yeah, and that, if you have great parents, they will help you find yourself during that process. Because
Mhm.
that's what I do with my children. I'm not trying to put my desires and goals or society goals on them. I'm saying, what is it that you're interested in and what makes you happy? So that's something that I pride myself in doing with
Right.
my children. So I commend you for that as well. So while
Right.
we're on the food pairing, I'm gonna switch it up a little bit.
All
I'm gonna
right.
do, this is I'm the chocolate chef now. I'm the chocolate chef, so we got to do some
I
chocolate
see. I
food pairing.
see.
So I'm gonna
I'm so
compare. I
happy
want you to
for you.
compare. Yeah, I know, right?
So
So I
happy
want
for
you
you.
to
I
choose
told you
between the
should
two.
have did it a long time ago, but we right here.
I
So
know you and your husband, you and Brother Antoine. I know. Listen. You're inspiring me. You're inspiring me. So you choose between these two pairings: chocolate and vegan bacon. I threw the vegan bacon in there because I saw you cook some vegan bacon the other day.
mhm.
Or chocolate and potato chips. Which one would you choose?
I'm gonna go with the vegan bacon, like
Mm,
because it's
mm,
that's salty and sweet. I mean, both are salty and sweet.
right,
I've had
right.
chips. I've had chips with chocolate. I don't know. You can't go wrong with bacon. Not pork bacon. We don't
Oh,
play that
right.
over.
Of course, no
Even
pork. No,
before, even
look,
before,
that's
even before we
yeah.
went, even before we went vegan, there's no pork.
Come on, come on.
So, so we
Oh, now,
don't
come
play
on.
that over.
See,
So I would
and you know
definitely
we
do.
connected. That was one of our connections. I said, yeah, right.
I'll
Oh,
do no
cool,
pork.
cool, cool, cool. I might have to try that. I have turkey bacon. I know, right? I want to try some of the
Bacon,
vegan bacon though
you
too.
gotta do
All
bacon
right.
because it has to be crispy with chocolate.
I can see that now. Chocolate and mangoes or chocolate and bananas.
Mangoes. I love mangoes.
I know, I know. That was
Yeah.
just not even right to put in there.
No.
Okay, right. Here's another one: chocolate and oatmeal
Which one?
meals or chocolate and cornbread. Chocolate and oatmeal and chocolate and cornbread.
Chocolate and cornbread is a muffin, and chocolate and oatmeal. I eat that all the time. So
I know.
you
Look,
might as
when
well
I
make that
thought about
chocolate and cornbread a muffin because it's just yeah, that's what we don't eat. We're gonna eat chocolate muffin.
right. That's a good one. That was a good one. Okay, here's the last one. Okay, chocolate and jalapenos or chocolate and butternut squash.
Butternut squash.
Whoa, let's hear this. Okay, you think the pairings?
The reason why I
Why
would
would
do
you?
chocolate and butternut because a butternut squash can get the same kind of consistency as a sweet potato. So it's just like
There we
kind of like a
go.
chocolate and a sweet potato because it has
Mm-hmm.
it's it's sweet. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I do I substitute sweet everything like sweet potatoes, like sweet potato dishes or whatever. I substitute butternut squash with it a lot. So I would
Right. Yeah,
definitely
me
go
too.
butternut
Me
squash hands
too.
down.
Me too. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's my sweet potato. The butternut squash is, and everybody should try that. I think so.
It
All right,
is.
two more
It is.
questions. So, what is the most useful tool? We talked about the most overrated ingredient. What is the most useful tool that you find in the kitchen, using in the kitchen?
The most useful tool, if I'm being honest, like it's not a tool at all. It's your imagination. Like if you just go in there and just start cooking and put the ingredients
Wow.
together, that's the best thing that you could do is just go in and just start working and start adding ingredients because
Man.
you'd never
Mm.
know what you can come up with. Um, and that's what I do with the
Wow.
kids. That's what I do with myself. You just have to kind of play around with it. That's the most useful tool you can use is your imagination.
That is
Even if you just put
awesome.
tools together, just put it together because you just never know what you're gonna come up with.
Wow. Yeah, I did that tonight. So that is a good one. I thought the chef last week said the chef last week said the hands, and I thought you couldn't beat that, but the imagination. Oh, you did it tonight. You did that. All right. Last question.
All
If
right.
you can spend a day, if you can spend a day with any chef on the planet, whether they're famous or just someone you know, who would it be and why?
I would spend it with my maternal grandmother that's passed away because she would, when I tell you she would take
Mm,
nothing out of something, um,
mhm.
that's what I would spend it with. If I could go back in time, I
Wow.
would bring her back. I would spend it with her. Interesting part is she passed away of breast cancer. So it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I am going to do something cool for you guys. So I
Exactly.
got something coming out for that too, in honor of her and for people that's fighting breast cancer. So I would definitely go back with her because she taught me the skill that I can't that you can't buy. That's like use what you have and make it work. It doesn't matter what kind of
Man,
fancy
that's
ingredients
powerful.
you have. Um, you can make anything work. So with
That is powerful.
whatever you have in love. So if you're doing it for the right reasons, and my reason is love because I love feeding people. I love cooking. I love vegan food. And you just use what you
Yeah.
have. So yeah.
So cool, so cool. Yeah, that's a good one. So we have the last portion of our show, the last segment of our show. I kind of got this concept from a local pastor. A few years back, or some years back, he used to say on the radio. He had a radio segment called the Inspirational Vitamin, and we know that all the nutrition that we need is in the food. And so I like to leave off with some motivation or some spirituality. So leave us with a little inspiration because you've been doing like your whole talk has been inspirational vitamin, if you ask me. But give us a little something. Leave us with a little inspirational vitamin.
A little
Give us a little inspirational
inspiration.
vitamin.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
you already took us to
Um,
church. You took us to church tonight.
look, look. I would say don't doubt yourself and don't give up on yourself. Do it for you and nobody else. And
Mm,
that's with anything that you do. Even with the whole vegan food and how I came into it, and because I've been through all types of the vegan journey, like all types of every Aryan I've been in vegetarian, pescatarian. I mean, all alkaline, all that kind of stuff. Um, do it because it's something that you are passionate about. Don't do it for anybody else. Because before I became vegan, I was crazy. Before I started homeschooling, I was crazy. Before I started this food truck, I was crazy. Um, you got to do it for you. No matter if no one sees your vision, you have to see it. And you have to see it clear enough to where nobody can blind you with their stuff. So
awesome.
if that would be the inspiration that I would give.
Awesome.
I
That's
don't know
good.
how inspirational that is, but
No, it is. It is. Because, see, we need that realness in this industry. We see a lot on TV or all the chefs going on TV doing their things. And it's almost like chefs today or restaurant owners today are looked at as like rock stars or whatever, entertainers. But the backside of the business side of it and just the work that you put in it, a lot of people don't recognize what goes into that. So I think you bring that realness. You brought that realness to the show, and I'm so grateful for that. And I'm even more grateful that you finally got in and we got everything. We kind of worked out the technical difficulties.
yeah,
I
bro.
know. Listen, this is what we'll do
I'm
is a
happy.
do
I'm so
over.
happy.
Look, I
I'm
think we
so
had a
happy I
comment.
got in.
We had a comment when a brother was saying that he was like both for our internet service. I think he said both for our Wi-Fi. We must have Cricket Wi-Fi. I think that's what he
I have
said.
you know,
So we
I have you know, I have Spectrum. I do not have
that's
Cricket.
me too.
I have Spectrum.
I know, right?
And
I have
and,
Spectrum
Spectrum,
too.
and apparently Spectrum is the Cricket of home internet. So
No, well, you know what I
I
did?
digress.
Look, I went straight from the core. I put mine. I didn't even trust Wi-Fi. I did not trust Wi-Fi.
You went to the
I put the
internet. You
cord
went
to
to
the
Ethernet.
modem and all that other good stuff. Yeah, I did that. I had to. I was too afraid. Too afraid. So tell us how to get in touch with you. I am posting it up here. Let everybody know. Tell them what you got coming up and tell them the best way to reach out to you.
Boom. Coming up every week, I'm out in the streets. You just got to follow me on social media. I'm trying to get more dates. Well, you know, I'm lying. I'm not trying to get more dates because I'm not trying to burn out. But catch me in the streets.
Right.
And Facebook is Underground Vegan.
In these streets.
Instagram is Eat at Underground. Yeah, catch me in the streets. Catch me in the streets. Eat at undergroundv.com if you want me to come to your town. And my telephone number, if you want to call me, is 667-3560. Everything is online. So if you don't get it here, definitely go to our social media and it's on there. DM, message. I get back with people. So I'm always answering questions, which that's a problem because I probably should take my phone away, but I love y'all. So that's the best way to get with me.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sister Kalila. Well, Chef Kalila. Look, I'm so used to calling you Sister Kalila, but thank you so much, Chef Kalila. Oh, yes, you. Oh, whoa. Let's go. Let's go ahead before we leave. Let's clear that up right now. Now, we had the culinary educator come on here and define chef and cook. And she said, I want you to go back and watch that show. She said, if you are managing people, if you are doing purchase orders, if you are doing those things and cooking, you are a chef. Thank you, Chef Kalila. You are officially a chef. Go ahead.
You are very welcome. I don't care what y'all call me. Just don't call me collect because I want to answer. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you know what? I'm still gonna do what I do, whether you call me that or not. You know, making good food.
You know, you're like my soul sister. I feel on so many levels, and there's so many things we connect with, and that the authenticity is what I love most. And I am so happy I got to feature you on the show. I think what I'm gonna do though, we're gonna do a do-over. We're gonna do a do-over so that we can do it even more smoothly, and we may even do something when I come to your location to get me a sandwich because I gotta taste one of those shrimp po' boys. I saw somebody salivating.
You got to catch it. It's all in the streets. If you don't know, you know. If you don't know by now, you know. It's all in the streets.
And the one thing, and I'll leave with this. The one thing that I love, the first time I heard you to describe your food, you said, I do vegan junk food. I know that sounds a little risque, but I love it because the reality is we love comfort food, and that's the food that sells the most. And if you can make comfort food taste delicious, you have won. You have won. And you definitely won with my son because he's not eating vegan for real. He will not do it. He will not. You say the word vegan.
Wow, that's dope.
Like no, but he was a vegetarian. He is was a vegetarian. But you just put the word vegan on it. He's like, I can't do it. We got to work on him.
And see, that's the whole.
But thank you.
I don't even like using the word. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah. But thank you so much, and I appreciate you. And thank you to all of our viewers for sticking in and not giving up on belief. See, I had faith. That my sister was going to come on. So thank y'all for tuning in tonight. And I still think the show was wonderful. And I'm so excited. And we're going to do a do-over. We might go live on your location sooner than later.
All right.
So y'all be sure to check. Y'all can replay this. You can go to Magic City Cooking Lab and you can see it there. We'll have it there. And you can visit us on YouTube at Magic City Cooking Lab. And we're working on the Instagram. I'm a little slow with Instagram. I'm working on it. So, but I know. I'm working. So thank y'all. Y'all have a great night.
All right. Thank you. Peace.
All right. Peace.